I'll be the first to tell you that I fully support Steve Shaw and everything that goes about the SEC with our officials. It's a tough job. It's a very tough job. Things happen really fast. There's probably 3 or 4 things that happen in the game that I'm complaining to the officials about, and I was wrong. Okay, when I watched the tape, they were right, and I was wrong. Now, there's probably 3 or 4 other things that happen in that game, all right, that I don't agree with. Okay, and there's nothing that Steve could tell me or anybody else could tell me that I would agree with what happened in the game, whether it was a flag on us or not a flag on us. Okay, and hey, we make mistakes as coaches, okay, and they're going to make mistakes as officials. Players make mistakes. We all do, right? Nobody's perfect. But there's a few critical plays in that game, and I'm not saying it would have changed the outcome of the game, not saying that, and there was probably some against us too. But unfortunately, we're all held accountable, and from an accountability standpoint, it's tough. What's the repercussions here? The call on Darrell Taylor was absolutely not a penalty. It's not a penalty. Okay, would it change the game? I don't know. I know they would have punted instead of going on and scoring that possession. Could they have scored the next possession? Sure. Was there a couple of things in there that I felt like they took shots on our quarterback? Absolutely. Their kids are playing hard just like our kids did, but we had a couple of targeting calls the last 2 weeks. And the definition of targeting, the officials in the game, they throw one, right? But it gets overruled in Birmingham or from the replay booth or whatever. I don't know, just the consistency there. It's a tough deal for everybody involved, and the accountability's even tougher. But for our players, we're moving on. There's nothing we can do about last week. We had 60 minutes to do that. And let me tell you, as coaches, as players, we all contributed in the loss. I thought our players played extremely hard and tried to do exactly what we wanted them to do. We've got to execute at a little higher level. We've got to do a little better job as a coaching staff to give them an opportunity to do that. And we'll start today to fix that.
Jeremy, on the officiating, were you given an explanation for any of those couple of plays? One being when they stopped play when you line up in the Wildcat, or how 1 second was rolled off the clock on a pass play for Alabama before the half. Were you given any type of explanation for that?
Well, I think there was a penalty on one of them, or a spot on the stopping the clock there. So they're trying to get it right. The officials are trying to get it right. Okay, just like I wake up in the morning and I walk out there. I'm not saying I want to make a mistake as a coach today, okay, or a player. Nobody operates that way, right? So we're all trying to get it right. It's a tough game to manage, but there's certain things that can be overturned, okay, and there's certain things that just, we get a holding in the red area, actually 2 holding calls in the red area, and hey, maybe we held, but you know what? You can call holding every single play in college football. We also get a lineman downfield in the red area. Every RPO that's out there, there's guys 5 to 7 yards downfield every play that somebody throws an RPO, which is really what the games became. Our guy was 5 yards downfield blocking a guy. So just like I said before, the inconsistencies, really the accountability, repercussion of what really goes into it. It's a tough deal.
You mentioned the targeting on Daniel. What did you think of that, and kind of what did you think of the way he tried to go in and make that play? And also, how do you think some of the young linebackers like Crouch and Peterson played with the opportunities they got with Henry being out and Batuli being out for different parts of the game?
Well, to me, where Daniel got threw out of the game for targeting, I think it is targeting. He hit the guy with the crown of his helmet. I don't know where he hit him at, but it doesn't matter, okay? And I really don't know what I could tell Daniel to do any different, because the guy's 6 inches off the ground. It's hard to go from here to there without hitting him there. And so it is what it is, okay? But there's also rules to it that, in my opinion, there was probably a couple other targetings in the game that wasn't called, okay? And that's what I don't understand, because that goes back to the replay booth, to protect the game. So we'll see.